And a very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you might be, and welcome to Jeddah Prep and Grammar School. And we are having our virtual open day this year. I think that we're all aware over a year now that COVID-19 has impacted upon us. So instead of you coming maybe to us physically, we are coming to you virtually. In a second or two, I will be handing over to my head boy and head girl to talk a little bit about themselves, about the school, and about maybe why they joined the school and what the school has done for them. I'm joined by some senior colleagues here, Mr. Khalil Ahmed, Deputy Head and Head of Grammar School, Mr. Garnett, Assistant Head of Prep School, and Mr. Shazad is here, Assistant Head DSL and Head of Key Stage 4 as well. And what we're here to do maybe is provide a little bit of information about the school, what we do, Jeddah Prep and Grammar School. I think we are very proud to work here or to study here, but maybe it's a chance for you to understand a little bit more about what we do. And then perhaps later on, if you're interested to know more, you might want to contact us and maybe pay us a visit as well. So I think maybe now, without further ado, I'll hand over to Hadia and to Saif, so head girl, head boy, who will be the MCs for this evening. So we'll be maybe asking us questions. I'm sure that we will be asking maybe some things of them as well. But Hadia, Saif, maybe if I can hand over to the two of you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Hadia Osman. I'm the school's current head girl. I've been at the school for 5 years, before which I was studying in Pakistan. After having been at about 5 schools, I can safely say that JPGS is my favorite because of its diverse environment and welcoming pupils and staff. When I first came to JP, I was amazed by the plethora of extracurricular activities ranging from sports to MUN and student government activities, all of which have helped me develop skills that I'll hopefully be able to use in university. Hopefully, I'll be studying biotechnology in Canada in the autumn term.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Saif and I'm the current head boy for Jeddah Prep and Grammar School. So I've been in the school for 12 years. I came here in year 2 and now I'm year 13. I came here from Jordan. So throughout my years in Jeddah Prep and Grammar School, I've traveled all around Saudi Arabia, whether it was to Riyadh or Dammam. And it was during my time as part of the basketball, volleyball and swimming teams. So Jeddah Prep and Grammar School provide me with so many different opportunities, whether it was after-school activities, fundraising events, or house activities, which are all really fun and help me grow as a person. And obviously I'll carry that on to my university life. So Jeddah Prep is a really diverse school with students from all around the world, so it's easy to find friends here. JPGS is really helpful, especially when it comes to applying to university. So we have teachers who are really experienced with that, and that helped me apply to many different universities in different countries and different continents around the world. Hopefully I'm going to study medicine in Canada in the future. And yeah.
So Mr. Bedford, would you like to tell us a little bit about the school?
Yeah, thank you, Hadia. So I think, as you know, our school is one of the oldest schools in the kingdom, to be honest. Yeah, certainly the oldest school in the Western Province here in Saudi Arabia. So 1967, we were first established and opened as a school. So we've been around a very long time. We are a school, I think, that is very well known for our academic prowess. So we are a grammar school. I think we're very proud that we're a grammar school and that we're trying to offer children the very best for their academic futures beyond the school, taking them through the school. So again, just making sure that as children grow, mature, develop, we're then able to guide, explain different things maybe that will happen later. That could be UCAS, it could be the United Kingdom, that maybe you'd like to go and study in, or the United States, Canada, as I know that you're considering as well. And trying to then make sure that you've got doors open, you've got destinations that you want, degrees that you want to study for, and then making sure that then you've got everything ready for you as you move on and up, and then out ultimately from the school as well. Okay.
Thank you.
And regarding the British curriculum, can you tell me more about that?
The British curriculum, yes, I think we are very proud that we are a British curriculum school. Obviously, I mean, I mentioned a couple of minutes ago that we started initially in the 60s, 1967 that we started, and we were established to serve the British and Dutch communities here in Jeddah. Now, we've changed and grown during the decades now that we've been open, and so currently we are at 47 nationalities of pupils that we have in the school, and we have about 14 different nationalities of teaching staff that we have in the school as well. So we are a British curriculum school. What does that mean? That we are a COBIS member school, so Council of British International Schools. We're also a BSME school, which is the British Schools of the Middle East. And basically what that means is that we have staff that are trained in the UK. They have their degrees, their teaching credentials coming into the kingdom, into the school. And then what we're offering to you is a UK standardized, if you like, education. That's the standard that we aspire to. And these are the qualifications that you will be receiving when you leave the school as well. So typically these would be Cambridge examinations. These could be Pearson examinations as well, with BTEC qualifications that we've introduced recently. But these are things that we would be allowing you to take, so accredited, validated courses, certificates, so that then you go off into your futures, into your careers, degrees, universities, whatever it might be, with all of those certificates under your belts. Okay. And that, I would say, now as a British curriculum school, I think certainly what makes us different, what perhaps that we stand out from comparing to other curricula, is that we place a lot of emphasis on standard 2, which is on pupils and development and well-being, and just making sure that you are supported in the school. So I think that really does make, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm aware that perhaps we are quite partial and quite biased to a particular system, but it is making sure that children are fine, happy, and if we have a happy child, typically then what we have is an excellent learner. So if somebody is adjusted here in the school, we've got friends, we're social, then we, I think, know that the learner then will actually be able to take in more information and then hopefully be successful, whatever that means later on. So does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does.
It does, that's good.
So, Mr. Ahmed, would you like to tell us about how prospective students are assessed?
Thank you, Hadi, for that question. First of all, I'd say we welcome everybody to apply, and we are a selective school, and so there's a process that we'd like parents to follow. So first of all, we're looking at previous school reports, we're looking at attainment levels. Obviously, if there's a place in that particular year group that you've applied for, there will be some assessments. So if you're a prep school pupil applying, then it'll be an English maths assessment. Grammar school, it will be English and cognitive ability tests. That will be followed by an interview with a senior member of staff, where you get an opportunity to ask questions, and the parents are obviously invited as well. If you're overseas, we will send those assessments to the school, your current school, and they will administer those tests, and we will have interviews over Zoom virtually. Of course, we are open for SEND pupils, so special needs pupils can apply, and they will also be assessed in a similar manner. And if we can certainly cater for their needs, we would do so. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Ahmed, can you tell me more about the staff in the school?
Thank you, Saif, for that question. I think I would say that, one, it's a privilege to be working at this school. I think we're very particular about the staff that we recruit. We look for staff who have recent UK experience, who have the specialist degree in the subject that they're delivering. They are qualified, they have got qualified teacher status, and they are adding value to the school here. So not only do we look at subject knowledge and pedagogy, but also something extra that they bring to the school. So we are very particular about the staff that we have here. And as I said, it's a privilege to be working here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ahmed.
So, Mr. Garnett, can you tell us a bit about the phases or key stages in the school?
So I want to kind of take you on a journey for that, because one of the major benefits I feel working in the school is that we're a whole school. So we have a prep school and a grammar school, meaning that we cater for 3-year-olds in the nursery school all the way up to you guys sitting here in year 13. So you've gone on this whole journey of just coming out of nappies to starting your adult life and going into that tertiary education, into your career. So along the way, we've got the prep school as a destination as part of that journey, and you've got your grammar school as the second part of that journey. And within that, as you've already mentioned, are the different key stages. And those are just the check-in points where we go through slight transitions in your education. So we're able to track and monitor your progress. We're able to re-challenge you, and perhaps when you get into grammar school, point you in different directions of the pathways and your subject choices as you get into your IGCSE and then finally your A-level choices. So with that, and being on that one campus, the importance of sticking to one school mission and one school vision, I think is very special, because your transition, instead of going to a new campus and a new grammar school, you're staying in one place. So for Safe's journey from year 2 all the way to where he is now, he's been able to make those relationships with the same friends, still seeing some of the same teachers are still around. He has all those strong relationships to build. And then when you coming into year 9, was year 9? So once you've come into the school, because there's those strong friendships and bonds there, you're able to easily adapt and get into a new environment. So I think that's very special in terms of how the phases of the school work. So we're collaborating all the time together as a whole school. So I don't see it as the different phases. It's one school with different train stations or destinations along the way.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Bedford, can you tell us more about online learning and how the school was able to adapt to it?
Thank you, Saif. I think that we have in the past year now and 10 days or so that we have been online virtual schooling. So the 9th of March 2020, we started virtual learning because of the pandemic, as I'm sure we all know. Now, I think Jeddah Prep and Grammar School, we've been BLEing for quite a long time. So our virtual learning environment was there, it was intact. It was something that we did anyway in the school. I can't say that it was easy for the first perhaps couple of weeks, because we offered virtual learning the day after we were told to close. So immediately all staff from physical learning flipped and changed then to virtual learning. We spent a significant amount of time making sure that everyone, young people and older people, understood the requirements now, the different challenges perhaps when it comes to virtual learning and online learning. But again, as I would say that Jeddah Prep and Grammar School staff, we were familiar with the technology. Firefly is something that we use and we all know what that means. For example, Sims, we all know what that means in our databases that we have here. And so that transition, I think, was relatively quick and relatively pain-free. Now, I would say that in recent months now, and again, it's been 12 plus months that we've been online, as a teaching body, I think we have improved no end all the time. So it is that last week, for example, talking with all staff about newer ways, newer technologies when it comes to education. Now, I know that the world has changed, and I think it's been forced to change because of the pandemic, but I would say that we have ensured that children are making progress, that we're checking in on pupils to make sure that they're okay, that everything is fine where they are, and either here in Saudi Arabia or outside of the kingdom as well. I can't say that virtual schooling is not a challenge, because it is. I think as a profession, I think it's a physical activity, as I've said many times, to staff, but also to students as well. But I think the ways that we do things at the moment, we're not disadvantaging, but we would much prefer to have children back physically, and we're hoping that will be sooner rather than later.
Thank you, Mr. Bedford.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Shazad, can you tell us a bit about the pupils' personal development at school?
Thank you for the question, Hadia. Pupil personal development is very important to us at Jeddah Prep and Grammar School. We have a personal social health education program which is taken by all our pupils in both the prep and grammar school. They do one period a week, and in our PHSE program there are 3 themes. The themes are health and well-being, relationships, and living in the wider world. This PHSE program is there to promote health and well-being, and also to teach our pupils about responsibilities being global citizens. We also have pupil voice. Pupil voice is very important at Jeddah Prep and Grammar School. Our pupil voice is through the school council platform, and in the school council is made up of representatives from class pupils in the prep school and pupils from their tutor groups in the grammar school. Many initiatives have been taken after meetings from the school council, so pupils have a voice, and it's a strong voice. We also have leadership opportunities for our pupils. The leadership opportunities are vast. At school, we want to teach our pupils about being 21st century learners, and we want to instill problem-solving skills, team-working skills. How do we do that? That is through inviting them to enrichments, pupils to enrichments. That's through Duke of Edinburgh, where they have a more rounded experience, not just in the classroom, but a more rounded experience, outdoor education as well. We also have Wellbeing Ambassadors. That is an initiative that started with you, Hadia, and that has grown. And now our Wellbeing Ambassadors offer drop-in services where pupils can go there and speak to a Wellbeing Ambassador, as well as speaking to teachers and tutors. So we have that initiative there as well. So the program at Jeddah Prep and Grammar School is vast, and it's all about developing our learners so they become more confident and are more able and can succeed in life. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Ahmed, can you tell us more about the pupil assessments and their progress throughout the years?
Okay, so in my view, it's great teaching leads to great learning. So it's really important that pupils know where they are in that learning journey, and whilst knowing that, they then become better independent learners. So that's really important for us. Assessment provides key information for pupils as to where they are, where they need to get to, and how they're going to do that, and that's really important. And we've got here at JPGS, we've got a really active and rigorous assessment process where we assess the pupils on entry. There's a baseline where their starting point is, where the end point is, so we know what their target grades are. So we devise target grades, and we then check the progress at key interval points. So we've got assessment points throughout the year where we check their progress, how well they're doing in meeting those end of year targets. And all pupils will have those targets, and then those targets will be discussed with parents on a regular basis. So we'll have regular parent meetings a number of times in the year where those learning conversations will happen, and that's really, really, really important in terms of assessment. So whether it's assessment in the classroom, assessment for learning, of learning, whether it's assessment where there are summative assessments at the end of each particular key point or at the end of each half term, depending on the course that the child's doing. And so we know where the child is, where there are gaps, and then what we will then do is provide some support intervention to make sure if pupils are not meeting the expected progress, how do we help them to do that? Okay, so that's in a nutshell in terms of how we view assessment of progress.
So, Mr. Ahmed, can you tell us a bit about where the graduates go after JPGS?
Thank you, Hadi, for that question. I think you've both done absolutely wonderfully well here and we're looking forward to a great sort of future for you both. In terms of what we provide here for the sixth form is pupils in year 12 begin that journey where we start to get them ready in terms of applications for university. So there's a lot of preparation in terms of personal statements, in terms of applications, and that's not just for the UK, so that's UCAS, that's also for the US and for Canada, which is a majority of our pupils go to the UK. And last year we had around about 85% who got first choice offers through UCAS universities, and that's fantastic. And this year we have got similar numbers for pupils here. In terms of courses, we've got students who are applying for computer science, economics, animation, law, medicine, international politics, software engineering, mechanical engineering, and these are in the main Russell Group universities. So we've got pupils here that have got outstanding results through the AS results last year and have made applications to universities. And we're hoping for a similar success rate this year.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Garnett, can you tell us more about extracurricular activities? Tell us more about like trips, sports, and enrichment clubs after school.
So I think the great thing about extracurricular is that it gives you guys an opportunity to participate in something that's different outside of your academic classroom. So academics are important. We've had fantastic results, as Mr. Ahmed shared with us a little bit earlier. But school's not all about just academics. It's important, but that's not what it's all about. So the extracurricular program provides you guys with a range of different opportunities to do something that you love, to do something that you're passionate about, whether it's sport clubs, whether it's art and cultural clubs, whether it's getting involved in drama activities, being part of MUN that was mentioned earlier. So you've got this wide range of choices. Through whether it's recreational or perhaps you want to do something that's a bit more competitive and join the sport team, you get the opportunity to travel nationally within Saudi Arabia and perhaps internationally as well, depending on the sports that you're choosing to do. All of that supported through BSME and through COBIS opportunities, and that's not only open to sports itself, that could be art competitions, MUN competitions, academic poetry writing. So we have all these other opportunities that are out there for us to do something that we love. Within that as well, as linked to and supporting the academics, you get the opportunity to do residential trips here. So you might go to a museum trip, you might go on a business studies trip and go visit some of the countries locally. You might do a work experience week. These are all trips that are very important to help develop you guys as the whole student, and get, whether you in prep school or grammar school, get you ready for what's out in the real world. It's making those connections.
And right, ladies and gentlemen, as we're coming to the end now of our virtual open day, I think the question now is perhaps why Jeddah Prep and Grammar School? I'll say maybe first of all that if you would like to see more, all you need to do is maybe come to see us, to book a trip, book a tour, and we would be more than happy to talk to you. Why Jeddah Prep and Grammar School? Well, in many ways I would say that this is a British school, simply transposed to Jeddah. So everything that I am familiar with, and my colleagues here, year 13s as well in front of me here, simply what we do is a British standard of education, independent schooling education, but here in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. I would say, having been in the school now for 3 years and having had a career of 34 years in schools and 17 years now as a head teacher, we have a happy school, we have a successful school. It's a very collaborative school in many ways, many ways, but also in many ways, other ways, it's a very competitive school. I think we like the challenges, we like to do lots of different things. I would say we're a big enough school, but not too big. So a medium size, roughly about 750 children that we have in the school, and approximately 130 members of staff that we have in total. And I would say in many ways I am, as I think we all know, very proud to be here at the school and very proud to be the headmaster of this school. Now just to conclude now, a couple of seconds now just to conclude, I think if you are outside of the school thinking about Jeddah Prep and Grammar School, again I think our reputation does precede us. I think again we've been around quite a long time. But if you would like to know a little bit more, there will be perhaps a link for you to click on, an email perhaps for you to inquire. And I know that our registrar here would be more than happy to try to answer some of your questions, maybe talk about assessments and different things. Now, on this note, I would say that our website is very replete. It's very comprehensive, provides lots of information about admissions, about us, about things that we do, policies, calendars, you name it. We try to be as generous as we can be with information that we provide to our parents in the school, but then also then prospective parents and pupils and staff as well. Now, as we have said, we're coming to the end of the virtual open day. This was preceded by a virtual tour, and I can only say a big thank you to Amma and to Farah, deputy head boy and head girl, who were here a little bit earlier doing different things and videoing and showing you around the school. Liana and Victor in year 6 were also then happy to be here and happy to be talking about their school and about what happens in year 6. And again, I will say that if there is anything else that we can help you with, just let us know and you'll have the email and contact information provided for you. I will say thank you very much to all colleagues that are around me today, particularly I would say the younger year 13s who are about to embark upon some examinations soon and then careers and different things that will be happening in the not too distant future. So Saif and Hadia, I will hand over to you maybe for a word or two and then we can close. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining us in the JPGS virtual open day.
And we hope to see you soon.